Let's do the thing. And let's make sure I am not monitoring my audio. Let's see. Should be good. Should be working. And I'm gonna go onto my own stream. Alright, we are live and in action. So, I don't know, this was a spontaneous idea. Maybe you've seen this clip before that has these butterflies. This is obviously the glitched version of the butterflies. And I was thinking that I could use the same butterfly loop, but in a different context. Maybe, I don't know, rework it somehow. So I've got those clips right here in Premiere Pro that, for context, I took from this video. As you can see, a PBS nature documentary. And you can see that obviously somehow I got the butterflies isolated from the video. And that was with the help of RotoBrush in After Effects. So that's why there is an alpha layer all over the butterflies now, and I've also, of course, made them desaturated just to give some consistency. And basically all I'm aiming to do here is maybe export these frame by frame and probably process them very lightly with some AI stuff in Stable Diffusion. Let me first of all turn down the volume on my laptop here because I think it's a little bit too loud. Okay. Also, please let me know if everything audio, video-wise is good. Let's hope that nothing breaks. And yeah, okay. So I was going to... I really don't know the best way to approach this, honestly. Basically, I need to find a way to make these either a loop or just somehow usable as a clip, a VJ clip, without having to do too much editing once I'm done with this. I'm actually really gonna need to think about this. Results are not guaranteed. Let's see here how far that clip goes. Okay, so there's a, let's see, that was a rotoscoping error. It's no problem though. So I'm gonna put the clip out right here. Let's see how that looks as just a video in of itself. Oh, that's weird. This will probably achieve what I want. How many frames is this? This is 329 frames. That's a lot of frames to try to process in one go. So what I might do is duplicate this sequence, reduce the frame rate, because this might be a bit overkill. Maybe I'll do 12 frames per second? I don't know. How does that affect... I honestly... Oh, I didn't even open the new sequence. I was like, that motion looks way too smooth for it to be 12 frames per second. Now that's a little bit choppier, which is to be expected. So, how many frames is that? That's 133 frames. That's more manageable. And the reason why frame number, frame count is important is because I'm going to be processing these one at a time. So obviously I don't want to be going crazy with how many frames I want to process. So if I was doing a 30 frame per second video, well, that would triple basically the rendering time. Although that motion looks really, really nice, really smooth. But I'm gonna have to make sacrifices. Lastly, before I export this, let me see if I can just make this as big in the frame as possible. Oh, another thing I need to do. I'm gonna just delete these keyframes. Oh, that's actually better. That's what I want. I want it to not move around very much within the frame. So I can kind of animate its motion a bit later. So just make it a little bigger. See how big we can make it in the frame. See, it's getting cut off right there, so I guess I need to make it smaller. And I think I can make it just a little bit bigger. It got cut off just a little bit there, so we're gonna make it a tiny bit smaller. I'm all about maximizing real estate on this. Yep, that's perfect. Oh my god, I was so close. Maybe just bump it down. Just barely 124 scale. That's gotta be fine. Okay. So now what I need to do is change the size of this. In fact, I might be better off making a new sequence. Because to render this in Stable Diffusion, I believe I need a canvas size of 1344 by 768, and I'm not just pulling that number out of nowhere, although I kind of am. I don't know where exactly I found it, but somehow that's just the closest I can get to 16 by 9 aspect ratio in Stable Diffusion and not have the... I don't know. It's complicated, but this should hopefully do the trick. Keep existing settings. Yeah, okay. What was I doing there? Keep existing settings, and let's go to the end of the clip there. Just get rid of that. And make this smaller yet again. Oh, what? Okay. Now we're in business, I think. $71? Sweet. Okay. So we're gonna render that as a PNG sequence. PNG. And see what folder we're gonna put this in. Where? Sorry, I genuinely sometimes am lost within my file structures. Okay, so I'll just make that butterfly one, and I'm gonna call it original because it's the original frames. And oh, I'm just realizing another thing I should have done before I exported. Hold this thought for now. I'm just going to remove all color. I lied when I said it's desaturated. there's a slight tint to it. And I might as well just pump up the contrast a little bit. Maybe that would help. Beautiful. Okay, now I will export it. Do I want to pump it up a little more? Let's pump it up a little. I really should be paying attention to this. I don't know if that's super visible. The Lumetri scope here. That's gonna help me determine how much I can make the contrast go up or down. But this is fine. I'm just nitpicking here. I pressed export and nothing happened. There we go. Again, it already lost my place. Okay, so I'm just gonna call it 1 underscore, and after the underscore it's gonna put the frame number. Export. Sick. Thanks for sticking around in the chat, everybody. Okay, so I've got those frames. Another thing I realized that I could do before I get too deep into this is I could remove this white background, and here's a crazy thought. I can make in-paint masks by making this completely white, just pumping up exposure completely. So now it looks like it's a mask basically, and I might even put alpha glow on it just to soften it up a little bit. The preview on alpha glow is always really bad, I've noticed. Start color should be white. That's better. Cool. Now when I export this, it's gonna render frames that look like this, which is fine because I'll show you later what that's for. In paint, again I'll just call it 1 underscore and export that as well. And now that I've got all that prepared, I can bring up Stable Diffusion. This is the part that maybe nobody knows about, or is the interesting part. First I have to find my folder, Visual Assets, Original. So let's just pick a frame, I don't know, frame 24 to process. So normally when I'm doing stuff in Stable Diffusion, I actually reduce the sampling steps to 8. You use Euler A, CFG scale at 2, and the reason why is because I have, I don't know if that's super visible, a LoRa, this one right here, LCN LoRa, which basically reduces the number of steps you have to use to make a good render. And this is another LoRa here, horror manga, which I've been using very subtle situations, I guess. I'll explain what's happening in just a moment. So first I could turn the denoising strength down to like 0.49. And then if I do, first of all, let's make sure nobody naked or anything like that appears. I could do... Actually, I could do nothing. I could just press generate. Maybe I will generate 4 images. So just hit generate. You can see what the command prompt looks like. It should do this pretty quick. And what are the results that we get? Those are not really impressive. And I think it's because the denoising strength is too low. So another thing I might do, I might add this LoRa here, which I'll put like 0.5 strength, the Mongo one at 0.7. And then I'm gonna type like tree branches, lightning, roots, I mean, that's kind of it. Black and white. And then I'm gonna also put in a negative prompt, like face, girl, anime, human. I actually just realized I should probably turn this down like to 0.01, because this LoRa always like is really strong. So and let's see what happens now. Maybe I'm gonna put the denoising strength to like 6. I hope that clap wasn't too loud. Remember to adjust your resolution too. Is the resolution is it good? Are we doing good? Something about this is not right. It's not giving the result that I expected. That could be a reason why. 11. What was the resolution I was even using earlier? I already forgot. 1344 by 768. I forgot to change that. The other thing I was gonna do. Okay, well let me just generate. Let's see, because I think I'm missing something. Because this isn't really giving the results that I expected. Like I've done a similar thing before and it didn't really look like this. So what I might do actually is just usually what I do is I just close that and then just open up Stable Diffusion again, and usually that fixes any problem. Oh, the other thing I wasn't doing is adding the in-paint mask. So there we go. Oh, that's interesting. There's transparency in the in-paint mask. That might be a problem. See how these are all transparent butterflies? I actually don't want that. I need there to be black. I think we could try this actually. First of all, Stable Diffusion is loaded up. Okay, just hit generate. See what happens. Okay, So the in-paint mask did work. That's mildly interesting. I think I might change my base models too. What happened to... oh yeah, just the regular 1.5 Stable Diffusion model. And it should be loading up. I think it did. Let's just hit generate. See what happens. A lot of this is just like waiting for it to render. Interesting. The first one is kind of cool, but again, I feel like something is just not working like how I expected. Maybe this is too low? Use some of my animations. Well, send me the animations while you're at it. I sure hope that the stream is going well. It looks like the bitrate, the stream is not at its best, unfortunately. Which could just be a problem with my internet. I don't know. Very annoying. I wish I had fast internet. Maybe I'm in the wrong part of the house. But again, I feel like something about this is not working. So if I go back, here I'm looking at this project that I did. Let's see, what did I do here? I have these, right? This is the look I'm going for. So if I go to PNG info, just drop that there. What did I put in the prompt? Abstract branches. This is like literally what I put. I'm very confused. Maybe I just need to just turn the denoising strength up even more. And I'm changing it back to the model that I was using. And hopefully this will solve the problems. Fingers crossed. Thanks for the nice chat comments. I appreciate it. Okay, now we're getting somewhere, sort of. But I don't want it to look exactly like a tree. Maybe I'll just remove tree branches entirely. Lightning roots, black and white. What am I missing? See, this just like, it looks good, but it doesn't look like this, you know? There's something about this which is just pretty simple that I feel like is not happening with my outputs. So again, what am I doing? What did I do differently here? Very confused. Also, I'm going to put this at point. When in doubt, just hit generate after changing like one thing and see what happens. Whoa. Hey. See, this is what I'm talking about with this Laura in particular. I'm just gonna remove it because I probably don't need it. That's where these heads are coming from. The horror landscape. It's a little too ridiculous sometimes. I'm really trying to go for some subtle... What on earth? It became worse. I'm really confused. What has changed? Just as an experiment. I literally took this, brought it to the image to image tab. Same exact settings. I can even get the original image, and I'm just gonna make sure that I'm getting the same exact results. Because I'm just trying to check my sanity here. So, when I hit generate, this should turn exactly into this right here. It should look exactly the same if everything is working correctly. No, does not look the same. What is different? Oh my god, sometimes... Wait a second, I think this is the thing. The noise multiplier. That's the most random setting ever, but if I hit generate now, it should. Please. Please. No. What is happening? Even with the AI stuff, it can get very confusing. What is happening? See how nice this is, that there's just black and white, none of this, whatever this bluish thing is that's going on. How is this any different? Alright, we're gonna dive into the outputs. The image to images. Where is the latest stuff I'm doing? So, if I drag this here... Whoa, what is it that changed? I wish there was a way to compare. Wait a second. There's like a... Oh, I know what I should be doing. Sorry, this stream is getting a little bit derailed because I'm troubleshooting why I'm not getting the results I am expecting. Bear with me here. This is gonna make sense soon. I just have to figure this out, or I won't figure it out. Who knows? But if I bring this into here, all of this stuff. What's the size of this image right here? 1920 by 1080. And I'm inputting images that are already fixed to this size, 1344 by 768. Maybe that's the reason why it's different. I mean, let's see what happens. Yeah, what is happening? What is happening? Oh yeah, I really should read the chat sometimes. But this is the first frame of the animation, so ControlNet shouldn't be in effect on this frame anyways. Because if you pay attention here, this is literally the first frame. And I remember how I made this. So there's no reason ControlNet or TemporalNet would be active on this frame if it's the first frame, right? I think. Actually, maybe you're right. I'm just gonna turn it on and see. You're probably right. If I hit generate, it's gonna look exactly the same as what I want it to be. Oh my god, you were right. Oh, why didn't I listen? Oh my god. Okay. I didn't actually realize that could have been, isn't that weird though? I'm glad you know what's going on, because I felt really crazy for a second. Okay. So, now that I figured out why that's not working, I could go back and grab my butterfly. And I should get, like, vaguely some sort of look that looks similar to this. Fingers crossed. Okay. It's promising. Again. Okay. That's pretty cool. What about, changing up the seed? Because I don't really have any clue what's going on with the shape there, so I'm just gonna turn down this. Maybe will be a little less extreme. What on earth? I'm so confused. Why it made these? I guarantee it's this Laura, so I'm just gonna get rid of that. Okay, that's a little bit better. Maybe what I should do, because I don't really like the gradient I'm getting with this butterfly here, so what I might do is go back to this and maybe really pump up the contrast. Maybe even posterize it to just remove any sort of like, gradient. Maybe this is the look I need to give the AI. It's really blown out butterfly. Also try to bring it back. See how like the pattern on the wings already sort of looks like tree branches and lightning sort of thing. I think this butterfly will give a better result rather than one that looks like this. Whatever, you know what I mean. So let me just export these, and we'll call the folder original 2. And again, 1_ save. I sure hope that that's gonna work. Do what I want it to do. What's up from Dayton, Ohio? What? Sorry, not sure what you're trying to do. Basically, I'm trying to prepare some a frame-by-frame animation for processing one frame at a time with Stable Diffusion. So let me go to my new frames, drop this image here, and just see what it's looking like now. Okay. Maybe turn up the batch size just to get more options. Come on. I don't know. Maybe I'm just gonna... Here, let me try to process the first frame, so that's the most important. You will get... Yes, I do know about the batch tab, and that is what I'm going to use. Why I'm not slotting it into Deform as an MP4? It's a good question. I don't know. This, I feel like what I'm doing here is gonna give me a better enables me to just kind of troubleshoot and test things out before I commit to rendering videos. Okay, so I'm just gonna rock with this. We'll see if it works. And now it's time to do the batch stuff. So copy this path, put it there, copy this path, put it there. Control net input directory, yes, will be the same. This let me check. Output directory I'm gonna leave empty because it never works anyways when control net is enabled on the batch stuff. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. But I should be good to go. And hopefully we can start seeing results. Right away. I hope. Yep, they're coming in. See? This is exactly what... Well, I might be speaking too soon, but this is what I was trying to go for. Yes, it's automatic 111. This is actually giving results that are kind of cool. So it's just doing it one frame at a time. All we can do is wait to watch the video by stitching the frames together. Cool. We just wait. But we can observe its progress. That's pretty interesting. That's kind of got like a bit of a branch sort of thing. I really only want it to look like some abstract sort of thing. I don't want anything recognizable to show up. But there we go. As soon as I said that, it made faces, which is not what I want. I don't like faces. And I think the only reason they're appearing, perhaps, is because there's in this frame, like this whole left wing is probably black, and there's some white spots, and it thinks, oh, those must be eyes and some shadowy figure, which I could remedy by, again, adjusting this. Speaking of, this is probably the frame that it was thinking, oh, this must be like a shadow person. See how those could be eyes? So what I could do would be the best way of kind of okay. I don't know. This feels like a losing battle. I don't know if this is gonna work. I also probably could maybe not posterize it so much. Or at all. And maybe that will do better things. Maybe this would look better. I don't know. Alright. Well, we're still rendering the other animation. How much? We're halfway there. It probably would go faster if I closed Premiere, but I'm not going to, because yeah, I can definitely minus faces, but I thought I already did that. Oh, you're right. I didn't, because I thought I did that before. Faces, person, human, girl, anime, yeah. Maybe that would do what I want. But I'm also curious how these new frames would look. Are they even any different from these? Except for just being higher contrast. Well. Ah, yeah, I see. Sloth Boy in the chat referencing some misadventures in Berlin. You should try using ControlNet. weight at 1 and use the start and end to change the control weights. Valid point. Probably that's the smarter idea. I don't know what in this case would benefit me more. I guess I would make it not apply on like later in the render. For anyone wondering what this thing is here, control net and temporal net, which I'm using, basically it's making sure that there's at least some consistency between each frame. So as these are coming in, each frame is referencing the last a little bit, so that it's not going too wild. So as you can see, there's like some consistency happening with the wings. That looks pretty cool. I think it's gotta be almost done, right? Almost there. I think I'm... You got a beefy graphics card? I guess I do. I have an NVIDIA 4090 RTX, whatever, at 16 gigabytes of video memory. So yes, it's beefier than anything I've ever owned before. And I'm also using an LCM LoRa, so which again reduces the steps. If you notice, like, I'm only doing 7 steps per image, and it takes it's doing 2.5 steps or iterations, I don't know, per second. So is that what that means? I don't know. Anyways, it's fast. So we are almost there. I can show you how I would stitch this together. But I'm also like thinking what happened here? Why is it like that? Why did it get cut off? What frame is this? Oh, I can't tell because it's not numbered. Also, did the music stop? I'm sorry. Let me find something. That, by the way, if anyone was curious, was an album called Fragile Glass World by Downstate, which I can put in the chat. What could I play in the meantime? Probably another album called Hypoxia Sunrise by the same artist. I bought Downstate's discography one time, and I've been using it in my videos. But is it a laptop card if it's 16 gigabytes instead of 24? Well, yes, it is a laptop card. Oh, are you saying that the desktop version has 24 gigabytes? Because that's probably what you're alluding to. Okay. So these are all of my butterfly frames. I'm gonna just gonna call this folder render 1. These are my frames. How many? It's 134. Just making sure I have the same number of them. I have an extra one. which is probably that one. So these are all my frames, and what I would do in this situation is just go to the forum, frames to video. Actually, I don't normally do that. I might try to interpolate it, so bear with me here. I'm going to put the frame rate at 24 FPS, because remember I exported this as a 12 FPS video, and now that I'm interpolating it 2 times, meaning I'm adding an in-between frame every frame. If I want to maintain the speed at which it plays back, then I would also double the FPS from 12 to 24. So if I just interpolate pictures, got a request to interpolate 133 images. This should do this pretty fast, and it should show up. In frame interpolation. You can see how my Rorschach interpolation attempts. Like that one. Pretty cool. And the frames are literally like this. Stitching video. Let's see how it looks. The first video playback of my butterfly. That's pretty interesting. Definitely needs some tweaking, I think, because I forgot to negate like having faces or eyes and stuff like that appear. So yeah, is it worth trying to render this again, or should I move on? What do people in the chat think? Interpolation doesn't change the speed unless you use slow-mo. So are you saying it doesn't pay attention to the FPS that is set in right here? So I could set this FPS to anything, and I could set it to 30, and I could do the interpolation at 2 times, and it would still be at the same speed. If so, interesting. Okay, but anyways, that's like the gist of what I wanted to show this butterfly here. We could do another style, actually. We could try making them look like an ink painting of some sort. So maybe a cool clip to use would be this one right here. Oh, this audio, I don't know if you can hear, but I totally remember it because I used it in the mescaline documentary. So it's like, here we are again. So let's just do another thing with this butterfly here. Make it bigger. I'm just gonna pump up any of the contrast here. Oh, that's a bit too bright. I don't know, this is a strange clip. Oh, getting cut off a little bit. Also getting cut off there, just made it too big. Okay, that's our video. That I'm going to process next. It's kind of slow. Obviously because the original video was a slow-mo video. Also, I slowed it down to begin with. That could be a reason. Maybe I will speed it up to 200. Should I though? How does this look? Maybe I want it to be slower. What is that frame there? Hold up. Sorry, this is a little bit boring. But that is always, it's always like this. Frame by frame, there's a difference between each frame. That's good enough for me. So, the end of this, out. Whatever my housemate is cooking right now smells amazing. I know what I'm doing after this. The kitchen is directly above my room, so you can smell everything. It's probably good enough. It doesn't have to look pretty in this anyways. So, cool. I'm just gonna export it as Butterfly 2. Again, the same thing I was doing earlier, except faster, because I don't have to explain as much. And, I don't know, maybe I'll call it 2 underscore because it's the second butterfly. Export, and then I also need to make the in-paint mask from these frames, so that's done just by, oh goodness, well, I know I had already done this, but I don't know where, so I'm just gonna do it again. Basically blow the exposure up. White. Now we've got that. I swear I had done this somewhere. Maybe it's on... Yeah, it was on that clip. But I should have done it here. Okay. What are those lines there? It's just some, like, noise. Maybe I won't have it fade out. Ugh. There's some... That's weird. I don't know if you can see that. You probably can't, but there's some like noise on the edges of the butterfly, which I don't really like. But probably it doesn't matter. So I'm gonna render it as the in-paint mask. And export it. And now we can try out this process again with a different butterfly. Butterfly 2. Which frame shall we start with? Maybe 25. And in paint mask 25. -1. Batch size 4. -1 meaning the seed is randomized, and I'm doing a batch size of 4 so I can get 4 different results. Yeah, let's see what happens. If you set the output FPS to 24 with original speed of 12, the video will be 48 FPS interpolated in 2 times. Wait, is that true? Because if I look at where is it? The clip here, look at the file properties. It's 24 frames per second. And remember, when I rendered this clip, it was 24 FPS in deform with interpolation set at 2. So I don't understand what you mean exactly. What AI tool are you using? Again, Stable Diffusion, Automatic 111. Damn, what's happening? What have I done? Let's stop this. I just did in-paint upload. Why is it trying to render a bunch of frames? What have I done? That's probably... Oh, it's doing it again. I don't want this. I really have to delete these for it to just render 4 images instead of 100. The system cannot find the path specified. What do you mean? I haven't specified you to do anything with the path. What's going on? What are you talking about? Do I have to disable ControlNet? Maybe there was a space in the here somewhere? Well, it's doing it now anyways. What are your specs? 16 gigabytes of video memory, 64 gigabytes of RAM, some powerful processor. I don't know. I don't really think processors are that important as long as the RAM and video memory are high, but I could be totally wrong. Not really happy. Oh, I wasn't trying to do the same style with these butterflies anyways. I was going to use a different style. I was gonna make it look like some ink thing, just to show the versatility of this tool, I guess. What is this? That's weird. Oh. Weird. I loaded up a new base model. Reusing... No, do not do that because there's... Okay, I need to close Stable Diffusion. This has happened to me before, where basically if you change your checkpoint model to one that's like from 1.5 to SDXL, it will still basically use the one that you started with in your session, so you have to just close Stable Diffusion to reopen it to use a different size. Anyways, now that Stable Diffusion is open again, I can use a different LoRa. These are some of the ones that I train, the ones that don't have an image. Just testing things around. So basically I'll just get rid of all that. Most importantly, I need... Where's the STXL one? Where on earth is it? Oh, yeah. Maybe I will use, So these are like 3 ink models. I know they were probably trained on other people's art. You can have your assessment of that as you like. But in this case, I'm just gonna see what the results are like. Is this album replaying, by the way? I think it is. I guess it is, but that's okay. I need just some nice light audio happening. So nothing is happening. Why? Very strange. Oh, I could also do well. So whenever I put the LCM LoRa in, I always set the weight of it to 0.5 instead of 1. Ink, watercolor, painting. I should have put that. Black and white. Japanese style. So this almost was kind of what I was maybe going for, but just not quite there. Okay, a little better. Maybe I'll turn up this. Maybe to like 0.72. Actually, it looks just fine. I don't need to turn it up, but let's see. Oh, snap. That one looks really nice. I mean, all right, I'll use it. So this is let me just allude a little bit to the dilemma that, oh, can we see what you have so far? You can go back. You can go back into the stream, I think. The music, I'll paste the link since the album has been updated, is this. Again, so what I was getting at, first let me start rendering this and then I can talk, just to make use of time. Copy this path. Don't need that. I probably can use control net. Oh yeah, temporal net SDXL, because I'm using an SDXL model. And I think I'm good to go. Whoa, what on earth was that? Mask not found. Okay. It tried to, What do you mean the mask wasn't found? Oh. It's because I, named them wrong. So I need to go back, re-export these frames, and have them be 2 underscore instead of 1 underscore. There's always some really small, tiny issue. Okay. So, original in Paint. Should be good to go now, right? So well, I don't know why it takes so long for the first frame to start rendering. Okay. First frame has arrived. Oh, that looks like a bird. I don't want a bird to appear. This is a butterfly. Why? Okay. Probably I should just turn the denoising strength down. That is kind of cool, but I am not animating a bird. I'm animating a butterfly. Maybe I would be smart to just double check that the first frame doesn't become something it's not supposed to be. Oh, the other thing is this is an issue. This is very convoluted. I'm gonna please just do something that makes it look like a watercolor thing. What? Okay. Once more. Okay. That's at least not a bird. Maybe I could just pump it up a little bit. Flying like a bird. Yeah, it could be cool to have it be a bird, but I just don't want it to like, I know it's not gonna stay a bird throughout the animation. I'd be fine if it looked like a bird throughout the whole animation, but because it's a butterfly flapping its wings, it's not, I know it's not gonna stay that. I'm also trying to find which denoising strength is making it a bird, because I just changed the denoising strength like 2 or 3 times just now, and it didn't affect the output. So it's somewhere between like 62 and 65. I don't know if this is important or not. If it's weird to me that you can change the denoising strength by like 0.01 and it's not gonna affect the output from, not at all. But if you change it from like 0.62 to 0.63, it will change the output. See, if you notice, this was previously at 0.63, it looked like a bird. Now it's at 0.62, it doesn't look like a bird. And then if I reduce it to 0.61, it's gonna look exactly the same. Somebody explain that to me. I'm really confused. But, yeah. Whatever. Let's hope it's not gonna become a bird when I do the batch. In Paint, I'm just gonna make sure these are named correctly. Everything is ready to go. Generate. Got 570 steps to do. That's alright with me. They should be appearing right here now. Second frame should pop up right where my mouse is. Beautiful. It's you can see it really wants to be a bird. It's really, really trying to be a bird. But it's just on the cusp of transforming, metamorphosizing into a bird. That's what the science teachers didn't tell us, is that butterflies actually have a third or second metamorphosis. It's to become a bird. The secrets nature keeps from us. But yeah, that's rendering. And I guess probably when this is done and I interpolate it into a video, I'll probably end the stream. Well, I guess I could show another thing, and that is isolating the butterfly from the background. I'm trying to think of how I would actually do that. Would I use a Brodo brush? Would I use this as like a mask, but then it would have some sort of what is the best way of doing that? I don't even know. Well, I know what it would be for these butterflies. The ones that, this one. All I would have to do is just key out the white. Probably invert after keying to make it white. And with an alpha layer underneath. That's pretty straightforward. But the other one, not so much, because this has a little bit more gradient to it. So there's white on the inside, white on the outside, and I'm trying to preserve the interior of the butterfly. So I would probably use Roto Brush. I don't know. Also, me playing back that video really made the render time go up. And I don't think I'm prepared to sit here for 15 minutes. We can still look at the frames, I guess. What's going on? Hello? I feel like I missed something with... There was, this butterfly looked really pretty. Actually, maybe I would be better off just not using ControlNet. I think I'm gonna not use it because it's probably hindering this animation more than helping it. So in that case, I'm going to see what it looks like without ControlNet. And again, it looks like a bird. Maybe I'll just suppress bird. Maybe I'll even put butterfly. but that could be risky because it might make it look like a butterfly, but not in the way you'd expect. Actually, never mind. That's perfect. So I'm just gonna render it like, and I can use an output directory now that I'm not using ControlNet. Where is it? Output. And generate. So frames should start coming in. They should look a lot better, I think. Because I wasn't really impressed with these results. Like, that looks a little bit too much like the original and not really effective at all. I mean, that's kind of cool. But I don't know. I was going for a little bit more AI magic. So because I disabled ControlNet, hopefully it will have a little, it will use a little bit more creative liberty, the AI process will. Also, you can see how because I put butterfly in the positive prompt, it's trying to turn it into a butterfly, but not in the way that it's actually flying as a butterfly. But I think because these frames are so, there's only a few frames, it's not really going to make much, it's not going to be that noticeable. And yet it still looks like a watercolor thing. And who knows, maybe this isn't going to look that different from the ControlNet version, because I'm looking at it now. I don't see much of a difference. Who knows? This is all trial and error. It's all a mystery to me. But the point is, I wish I had more RAM to run that. I was like that too. I don't know what to say. I wish it didn't require so much RAM. But that is with a lot of tools. All really brings up bigger questions. I was at this art gallery in Linz, Austria, called Ars Electronica, and they had a whole exhibition dedicated to AI stuff, and it was interesting because I was really high, and the tour guide person who was explaining basically certain parts of the exhibition, I mean about AI, was just explaining about how much resources it takes to train, not like a model on your laptop, but like to create neural networks. Like, I'm talking about like on a government scale, pretty much, or like some huge corporation thing, basically trying to make a computer be like a brain, and how it really is going to contribute to huge depletion in natural resources on the planet. And I was like, yeah, I get that, but this is something that is the consequence of not just AI, but literally everything regarding technology. And I feel like once we get to that point of like we're running out of minerals to mine, or it's just becoming so unfeasible and so damaging to do, that we're gonna have a lot bigger problems on our hands. And I don't think any of us are gonna be able to buy a new iPhone or use materials. So I think AI will be like the least of our concerns when we're in such a state of affairs. All that I mean to say is buy as many electronics as you can now. That's a terrible advice, but just make art while you can. With these cool tools. And yeah, another thing I wanted to touch on, I guess, is I could easily imagine somebody being like, hey, you're using AI. This must mean you are stealing. But I just want to point their attention to this frame. And this frame. And I want them to tell me what is being stolen. If the one on the left is my original frame, let's say I actually shot that butterfly, like I took a picture of it. This is my butterfly I grew from a caterpillar. I saw it from day one. It was growing, eating, munching on leaves in my glass jar. And then it metamorphosized into this butterfly. I took a photo of it mid-air, mid-flight, fresh out of its cocoon. And I was like, I'm gonna process this with AI, but only a little bit. And the image on the right is the result. Some people would argue that because I did that, then it's inherently not. It's an unethical butterfly now. Doesn't matter that it was homegrown, home-raised, home-raised, homegrown butterfly. That because I used AI in the slightest to give it its slight textural stylization, that it's an evil butterfly. I just don't think people who make these arguments have even looked at this example before, can even wrap their head around such a concept. Maybe I'd love to talk with somebody who disagrees with me on this, but they're probably not watching this far into the stream or this video. But that's just some food for thought, because just A and B. At the end of the day, none of it really matters. Just make art. I think. I don't know. There's definitely more obvious ethical problems than just this. So I'm straddling definitely the gray areas, and the ones I would argue are actually good utilizations of AI tools. I don't intend to go much further than that. I'm not gonna be stylizing things in the name of name your favorite artist and being like, hey, this is my work. I don't know. But let's see how the render's doing. We're making some progress. What is there to talk about? I don't know if I'm gonna continue this stream, considering that there's 50% left. But yeah, I think my point has been made. If anybody's curious about how I would, isolate this butterfly from the background and overlay it on top of other things, I would encourage you to look up RotoBrush 3.0 in After Effects, and that would be the answer. But thanks for tuning in. I hope that this was insightful, and yeah, peace out.